Good to be back with you today on Hoskins Outdoors. Today we're going to talk about sharpening your chainsaw out in the woods. I don't do a lot of chainsaw sharpening in the woods. I usually do that at home in a vise on a table, but a lot of times you got to sharpen your saw out in the woods. Here's a invention that I ain't hardly seen nobody do before, but I got this going way back when I was young in the logwoods, where you can sharpen your saw. You just take a stump with a branch sticking up and you saw a notch down in it, and you saw a notch over there on that side over there where the handle is, and that holds your saw so you can do a pretty good sharpening job. I'll get you set up and show you how I usually sharpen saws out in the woods. I can get you set up without getting down again. Anybody's so sick anymore, they can't hardly make it. Hope you can see that all right. Find the specs and put on where I can see a little better close up. You can bear with me a few minutes. A lot of times you got to sharpen your saw out in the woods when you're a logger or cutting firewood and it gets dull. I just come in like this right here with the file in about a 30-degree angle, holding your file about like this at 30 degrees to the tooth, and come in right there and give him about 10 passes. 1, 2, what you're looking for is just a little tiny burr to come up on the tooth there, and you can feel it when you're careful and you run your finger across it. You can feel that burr raise right there, and that got him pretty sharp. Now we slide on down to another tooth. I usually do about 10 out in the woods, unless I hit a rock or something other, and then take a lot more. But this one just got dull just from sawing wood. Today we ain't going to talk about all the depth gauges here, the dogs some people call them, but we'll do a video on that a little better, maybe down in our bench vise with a better light and things. We can talk a little more about that. But this is usually the way I do it out in the woods. Feel that little burr raise right on the tooth right there, and you got him pretty sharp. raise up and rest my old back. I'm old and can't hardly do much no more. I gotta do these videos all in one piece. I ain't learned how to edit yet, but maybe in a little bit longer I'll learn how to do that and maybe make a little better videos. Get a little better from all these ailments I got right now. It's like a knife is sticking me right in the side right there. Usually when I'm home, I'll tie like a little string on one of these tooth or mark it with a marker so I know where I started off at. But right now you can usually feel it once you get it sharp. When you come back around to that tooth, you can feel it that the file cut's a little different when you got it sharp, and you can feel that it's already been sharpened. I usually count my strokes with the file, because usually you'll get the other side off a little bit and then they'll start to cut a little bit crooked on you. A little bit later on, we'll probably talk about the depth gauges, as some people call them, the dogs, right here. And that lets you know how much wood it takes off when you're sawing. But that'll take a flat file, and we'll do that probably in a later video. You want to get that little burr right there, and it don't matter if you cut down this length just a little bit. And you want to get this gullet on this side sharp too, because if you don't get it sharp when the saw saws into the wood, that's what cuts the fibers going down when you're cutting the wood on the side. You want that little burr to raise, and this little point right here, you want that to feel sharp, almost like the tip of a knife when you touch it right there. Be careful and don't cut yourself. You want that to feel a little sharp right there on that point. You want to put a little upward pressure on your file when you come in here. Raise it right up against that edge. Now I lost count on that one there, but that's alright. You can feel that little burr raise on it right there, and you can feel that point. And if you could see it close, you'd see that the edge was sharp. This is the first time I've sharpened this chain since I put it on the other video. I guess I've sawed probably, about 2 or 3 truckloads of wood so far with it. And it started getting dull. This pine that I've been cutting right now, it's been laying down. It's got some dirt in the bark, and it dulls them pretty fast. Most of the time, everybody recommends you wear gloves to sharpen your saw, but like I said in their video, I've been fooling with these saws for the last 50, 60 years, so I don't do that. I've been cut so many different ways it don't matter anymore. But I recommend you wear gloves when you sharpen your saw. I got a lot of scars where I've just cut myself on these chains just sharpening them back when I was younger. I come up with this sharpening device here, I guess probably maybe 35, 40 years ago when I used to log, and it works good. You try to do this without something to hold them straight, and you get them off a little bit. This here works real good. You just find you a treetop with a limb like that on it, and you just notch him down in there, and it works just about as good as a vise. Got 12 on that one. I guess I won't bore you in sharpening this whole chain because I'm slow today. Usually I can sharpen them faster than this, but I ain't done too good today, so we'll talk a little bit about sharpening this other side here, and then I'll let you go. It's almost the same, you just sharpen them the same way, but you turn your file and sharpen this way right here. And you can see that little burr raises right there. And this point is sharp, and this gullet is sharp. That's plenty good enough for out in the woods if you happen to dull your saw or anything. You want to hold your file about 30-degree angle to the bar, and you want to hold the handle just a little bit down, maybe a 4 or 5-degree angle, raise it up just a little bit. Yeah, that tooth is good. You can feel the burr raised up on him just a little bit. And the gullet's sharp and the point's sharp. Usually I do do all my sharpening mostly in the bench vise with a good strong light over top where I can see better. That way you can do a better sharpening job, but a lot of people don't have a bench vise. A lot of people sharpen far from home, close to where their wood's at. I ain't. Most all my wood is closer to home, maybe within 4 or 5 miles, and it don't usually a chain sharpening a saw about 2 truck loads. If you don't get something dirty, you're getting dirty wood or something or other. This works real good. I guess you can tell I'm still a little bit camera shy. Still don't really focus in on my head like a lot of people do. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll focus in a little better on this sharpening setup I have here that I invented. I guess I may not call it invented, but I started using this, I guess, about 35, 40 years ago or something or other. So I hope this video might help you all a little bit. Before I let you go, I'll focus in a little more on this right here so you can get a better idea of how it works. If you can bear with an old man a few minutes. It's just a branch, and you saw a notch in it down lengthwise, and then you saw it off enough where your bars stick up. Then on the back there, you just saw a knot down in there and cut that out so that the handle will sit there and not move on you, and you can do a pretty good saw sharpening job. I hope you can excuse my poor video work. I want to thank you all for joining me. Hoskins out.